I'm Oskar Nygren, and this is Imperfect Action. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to find clarity on what to offer your audience and make sure that you don't get saturated by the knowledge that you've already acquired. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell, because I intend to make a video each day for those who want to raise their vibration and share their gift with the world. So with that said, let's get into today's topic. You know, before I started to make videos or sharing or making Facebook posts and all of these things, I had read a lot of things. Like I'd done yoga, I read a lot, and I read about Tantra, and I read about universal laws, and been really interested in all of these things and written it all down and just the works, because I was so fascinated by all of what this was. And then, you know, I started to build my own programs. I tried to I'm going to teach people this and I'm going to teach people that. And sometimes I ran into sort of a saturation around all of that, right? I felt that I couldn't share it because I was afraid that people would steal it, you know? I felt that I had found this pot of gold, and if I would share it, people would take it and grab it, and I would be left out alone with it. And honestly, I'm making this video also because I'm speaking a little bit to myself, because there's still fears inside of me of what is going to happen if I share what I know for free? Will it be available then? Will people not, like me? Or not like me, but will they just take what they needed, extract it, and then run away? So that's been a fear inside of me, and probably kept me from really sharing my gifts full out, doing meditations and taking people on this journey through their traumas and releasing it, talking to their inner child and all of those things, right? And so one thing is speaking about surface is tough, but the other things is going into the nitty-gritty of things and sharing the processes that I've really learned, that people can nick it away from me. And I had an epiphany today around all of these things as I was listening to Matt, another guy that I've mentioned before, who spoke about what to really offer people. How do you find out what people like? Well, to give it away, to give it away to them for free. And I started thinking about that. Well, giving it away, won't people steal it then? Maybe I will just be left alone and oh, thank you so much, bye. Maybe that's still a fear inside of me. But with that said, I started to think about something. I started to think about, how does actually life work? It's think about your apartment. If you start accumulating things, you hoard, right? Until you come to this place where it's you can't jam in more stuff there. It's just crowded. And when your apartment is crowded, right? When there's clutter everywhere, you can't even move through it, right? You are saturated, you're suffered, you're choking on it. Maybe it's the same thing with information. You know, we're accumulating information, accumulating, learning, never sharing, right? We're learning. It's like we're breathing in all the time, right? But there comes a point when you can't breathe in anymore, right? You become saturated with the in-breath. You start choking on your own air because you're not breathing out, because you're not getting in fresh, new air. Perhaps it's the same with information. Perhaps it's the same with courses. Perhaps that's the same with everything, right? Maybe it's the same with money. You can't get money if you do not give money, right? If you're frugal your entire life, you will live in a lack mindset because you feel that you can't give it away, but then you can't receive it either. Right? Try to breathe in also, right? Breathe in and try speaking at the same time. Like, I'm talking to you now. Oh, it doesn't work. You see, I can't really speak when I'm breathing in, right? So your voice is limited, or you're choking on your own, like, information that you're accumulating if you're not sharing it. And there's not a possibility of sharing something if you're keeping it to yourself, right? So think about that. When you learning, share it. Right? I learned something today and I'm instantly sharing it. And as I'm doing so, something starts happening, right? It's like it becomes more ingrained in me. I start understanding how these concepts are working together. So when we're actually talking about finding clarity, you know, how do you find clarity? Through action. Once you just know a little bit and you start doing something, the rest will follow. But you can't think into the next part. You have to do. You have to express. Because when you express, you give. And if you give, you will receive the next thing, right? Clarity is about new information. It's about new consciousness that comes through giving. It's so simple, but we have this idea that, oh, if I give, I will lose. There won't be enough. I think especially for us coaches, who wants to give. But we're somewhat afraid of giving those real essence that we've learned. So we try to keep this to ourselves and we're going to share it one-on-one with the people and not too many. And we don't want someone to steal our courses because if they do, we will lose something. But guess what? Maybe it wasn't yours to keep anyway. Right? Can we really own something? No, I mean, when we pass away, then it's gone anyway. Right? Can we hold on to something? Yeah, we can be afraid of losing it, but if we're afraid of losing it, that's most likely what's going to happen. But if we're sharing it, we have the ability to get new things, right? Maybe you've noticed that somehow someone in your life has been someone that you're coaching, that you're helping, and as you're helping them, something new comes to you. Or you're giving a program away and you sort of just receive a program for someone else. When you're willing to share, you're willing to receive. And if you're also thinking about this, right? Everything is here and now. Everything exists in the now, in the pause, in the unknown. It's like Nikola Tesla, who has the most inventions in the world, I think. He said that it wasn't his. He was just tapping into a field. Maybe that's what you're doing too, and I'm doing, right? We're tapping into a field of information and is synthesizing it in order for us to give it to someone else, so we can receive more and give more. And on and on and on and on and on. So we don't become stagnant in where we are. So we're only relying on things, you know. If we just become a consumer all the time, we will start feeling that our life becomes small. And maybe it is because we're literally cramming our space with too much information. In the spiritual field, we might do this through courses, through workshops, through whatnot, like information on Facebook and all of these things. And in the material world or in the mainstream world, people are like, there's news and there's Netflix, Disney, movies, you know, all of those things. Which in essence is probably even worse because it's way worse information. But the point is this, that unless we start sharing it, we will stop receiving new things. And our mental space, our room, whatever is going inside of us, is gonna get crammed and crammed and crammed, and we will feel that we're stressed because there's so much in here, because we're never giving the ability of giving it away. So test that, right? Test giving out your way, your absolute best bits, right? The nuggets of gold that you've extracted from the universe, give it and see what happens, and see if you're afraid of it. See if you can trust the universe that you will receive an equal amount of gold, if not tenfold, because you dared giving of yourself. That's it. That's it. I'm going to test it. I would hope that you do too. And if this resonated with you, if that was something that you extracted out of this, please drop me a comment below. Because, yeah, I'm interested in what insights this gives. Or if you have another angle. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and joy to all of you. Bye for now.